Hiya, and welcome back to Devil's Gambit. The game that teaches us that... I can't think of anything. That Arwell sounds like ASMR. I don't know. Anyways, let's just hop right in. Where were you guys, if you don't mind me asking? Am I good? Yeah. Oh, okay. Coming out of not good feelings right now, so let's just hop right in. The flames die down, the demons scatter and disappear into the shadows, and the crowd disperses. We return to Arwell's nest. It's quiet at first, eerily so after all the celebration. But soon more wolves arrive until it's bustling with activity too. Arwell is so busy he only has time for a greeting while serving us our drinks. You killed it at the stalls tonight. You do that every year? Nah, that'd spoil the fun. I usually prefer to stand back and watch. Showing off to me, then. The look on that man's face when you got ready to throw was priceless. How surprisingly mean of you, Hector. He feared for his life. Says one that scared him. Besides, I'm no saint. I asked Arwell for a refill. The dragon just shows us that fatherly smile of his before walking away again. Come to think of it, that's your fault too. I was the model son before I met you. Then you beat me up and suddenly I'm lying to my father. Slow down with the beer, Hector. You make me sound like a bully. Because you were one! Why did it surprise you I'm a peacekeeper then? Some people say peacekeepers and such are contracted bullies. It's true, but you're too nice. Never met a bully that gives away money rather than takes it. Wait, did somebody call you that? Point me to them. I'm gonna whoop their butt! Definitely drunk. The wolf tenses up and raises his arms in a long stretch. My face gets a little warmer. Well, gotta get back to work tomorrow. If only we could have the festival for the entire week. Come to think of it, you still worked as usual, right? Oh, yes. I'm exhausted, to be honest. Wanna call it a night early? Absolutely. We walk side by side in silence. I know what I need to do. I've been preparing for it all day, and yet I'm drawing a blank now. I can't let the day end with Cadgan telling me goodbye and retreating to his shack again. I can't let the memory of this day turn cold as well. Do something, anything, Hector. Oh? Cadgan is surprised by my suddenly clinging to his arm. He stops in his tracks and faces me. What is it, too tipsy to walk? Maybe you should have stayed at the tavern. God, why can't I say it? I'm so frustrated tears are welling up. Hector? Cadgan! I'm a coward. The wolf blinks with the look as though trying to decipher the meaning of my words. There is nothing deeper to grasp, however, I'm just stating a fact. Even though you accepted going into the Eye Valley, you have an interesting idea of a coward, Hector. You were there, so it was nothing. Nah, I'm gonna be nice. You know, I'm not very confident as a doctor either. I don't think I'll ever live up to Dad, but I still have to do what I can. Do you know how I gather some courage? How? I started doing this fork, but it eventually spilled into other things, but I have this image of who I'd like to be as a doctor, right? I pretend I'm him, and talk to myself. Hector, do this, Hector, do that, and that helps me calm down when I'm distressed. Everything is easier when I have someone giving me directions or telling me what to do, I guess. Like you in the valley. I see. And I wonder if you didn't use something similar back at the Duke's mansion. Like you used to put on this sort of bravado. Hector. I didn't realize it back then, but I loved you, Cadgan. I still do, and that too makes me scared. Because you are so different now that I can't tell what's going through your head much of the time and... Hector. His voice, stern but gentle, takes me out of my rambling state. Is it hope, fear, or something else that he's seeing in my eyes? That silence, accompanied only by rustling leaves, lasts for so long I'm about to beg him to say anything, but then Cadgan lets out a sigh. Doesn't even make a mist. Why would it? Instead, it freezes me in place until blood doesn't reach my toes and fingers and makes my heart stop beating. I know, Hector. I've known for a while. I didn't want to assume, but it's been written all over your face. And you said nothing? Because I hoped I was mistaken. I didn't want to hurt you. Oh no. Don't say that! 9 years ago, I also felt that way about you, Hector, but, well, it's true. I'm too different. Yes, you being different scared me, but that means nothing. Renai, no, you are important to me. When I came back, I was hoping to find the same person I knew, not considering how you'd grown up. But that doesn't mean we can't try, right? I still want to be with you, Cadgan, even though you are different. I still care about you the same as I did back then. I try to grab his hand again, but he pulls away. Hector, if you... Cadgan grits his teeth as though trying to bite down his words. His nostrils flare, hands curl into fists, ears flick as if searching for a distant sound. But his eyes remain locked on me. Renai is... His voice comes out raspy as a cough, and it brings me back to the time he choked near the river. The panic from back then is about to resurface until he takes a deep breath. His chest and shoulders rising before letting it all out. It's then that I see it.
It's time to drink water.
His gaze betrays a sliver of hope, a need unfulfilled. A lone lantern lighting up the way on a stormy winter night.
It's time to drink water.
But the storm is too much. Little by little, it's buried by the snow and vanishes. Hector, you're wonderful. You're much braver and talented than you think, but you deserve better. You know what? I gotta say this. I have to fucking say this. I cannot keep my fucking mouth shut about this. You know what? No. Hector, Cadgan, you two, kindly shut the fuck up. Kindly shut the fuck up. Because, genuinely, you keep saying that... Cadgan, you're saying shit like, oh, Hector, you deserve better. You deserve better than me. Cadgan, shut the fuck up. Okay? You are also deserving of love. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. That does not matter. What matters is how you act moving forward. Okay? You are deserving of love. People in general are deserving of love. Hector! Hang on. Hector, kindly also shut the fuck up. You are not a coward. Yes, you have done little bitch things. However, there is a huge difference between acting like a little bitch and being a coward. There is a huge fucking difference. Hector, you acted like a little bitch. However, you are not a coward. And quite frankly, even the bravest people do little bitch things. So, kindly, shut the fuck up. And keep in mind, throughout history, throughout human history, two things have kept people alive. Two things have kept people alive. Love and fear. Well, actually, it's lust and fear. But we're just gonna say love for now. Love and fear have kept people alive. Love has kept the population from not fucking dying, and fear has kept said population from actually surviving. So, kindly, shut up. Just... This goes for you too. This goes for all of you too. Honestly... Just... There's no one else like you, Cadgan. Even then, I can't give you what you want, and I can't bear to put you at risk. Risk? Do you mean the Duke? I don't care what he does, but I do! I want you to be happy, Hector, to be safe, but I can't promise you that. I just can't. A sniffle. Are you crying, Hector? I don't understand. I don't want to lie to you, make you believe I can make this work. That'd hurt you all the more. And I couldn't bear to put you through that. I'm sorry, Hector, but I'm not the person you love anymore. It's better this way, isn't it, Hector? Think about it. Isn't this how most childhood crushes end? How many couples do you know that met when they were children and stuck around each other until adulthood? This isn't anything extraordinary. You aren't living in a fairy tale. The good news is that almost everyone has gone through this, and if they got over it, then so will you. For now, apologize to Cadgan. Let him know you'll be returning to the tavern. You need some alone time. And then cry, Hector. Get in bed and hug your pillow to your heart's content. Imagine a life you can't have until your heart is exhausted. Starting tomorrow, we'll work on getting over this. Okay, do these bitches not know what dating is? Do they seriously not know what it is? I mean, here's the thing about dating. It is literally about getting to know each other. Like, let me fact check real quick. Dating definition, yeah. What the fuck? Right here. According to Wikipedia, dating is a stage of romantic relationships in which two individuals engage in an activity together, most often with the intention of evaluating each other's suitability as a partner in a future intimate relationship. Imagine getting to know each other. Never heard of her. Doomed Yowie. Nah, this ain't Yowie. This is Bara. Doomed Bara. For now, rest. A new journal entry has been unlocked. Act 1, Chapter 2. The Devil of Renai. Whom? Let me check the new whatever. Cadgan. Magic. Right here. Leaf Burning Festival. Okay. Hiya. We got rejected. Let me make sure we don't have a penis. Make sure we left it at home. Yeah, we don't have one. Okay. How weird it was seeing him like this. Cadgan, Star Drinker, Duke Defier, Window Slayer. He walked toward the river with his shoulders slumped, looking at his feet. It wasn't that he had woken up from his lethargy, nor had he choked again. He was just sad. It was such a nice day that I wanted to take a dip in the river. Cadgan had half-heartedly accepted following me half a dozen steps behind. When we arrived, he kept quiet, sitting under a tree on the riverbank and hugging his own legs as he stared at the water. His gaze was so firm. I looked into the river to check if something interesting had caught his attention, but to no avail. I put down our towels before kneeling next to him. What's the matter? Not feeling like it after all? Don't me. What's wrong? Sometimes the Duke says something about everything having a place in nature. Do you know about that? A lot of the herbalism books I've read talk about that. I mentioned it to you once, remember? About how for every illness there is a cure, that everything has a purpose. But if those words came out of the Duke's mouth, then surely they carried a much darker meaning. I wonder what my purpose is. Such a question was very typical for boys of our age. Me and a bunch of boys in Oblon couldn't relate to it, as it was decided early we'd retrace our parents' steps. But whenever we went to the house of a wealthy client in the city, if they had a son of my age, chances are he'd be wrestling with the same question. It was the privilege of those with opportunities, which is why it was peculiar hearing it come from Cadgan. It made sense, though. He wasn't wondering this out of an abundance of futures, but a complete lack of. He'd been denied his freedom for so long, and there still wasn't an end in sight for his confinement. What would he even do once the Duke let him go? Is there a place for me somewhere? Of course, Cadgan. Where? I give him a small shrug. Renai, no one can take you away from your hometown. It'll welcome you back with open arms whenever you get out of here. No! They'll just say I'm a troublemaker. That's what everyone thinks, right? It's what the Duke tells everyone who will listen. All the servants and guards talk about too. Even the townsfolk who come over, all they talk about is my illness. Everyone is interested in me because of that stupid disease and nothing else. After that's settled, no one will want me for anything. Everything would be better if I disappeared. Real quick, if you're considering suicide or self-harm, or even engaging in self-harm, please reach out to someone. Just please reach out to someone. The way he looked at the water sent a shiver down my spine. That's not true! How do you know? I took his hand and squeezed it tight, locking eyes with him. I looked deep into the sky within them, holding on as though not to fall into it, because I knew the words would escape me otherwise. You do have a place in the world because you are here with me now. And I want you to be here. If the people of Renai won't welcome you back, then I will. I miss you whenever I'm away. Did you know that? Everything's boring without you and days feel like they'll never end. Every night I go to bed with a book wishing you were there with me and fall asleep thinking of the next time we'll come and visit you. You do? Of course you do. I should have known you would. That was his first smile that day. It took me in, as did his arms as they pulled me into a hug. His fingers dug into my clothes. His cheek found a place in the crook of my neck, and after I got my bearings, I wrapped my arms around him as well. It was summer. He smelled like fresh grass, tree bark, and pine cones. God, he was so light. And shorter than me, too. In my memories of Renai, he always felt like a larger-than-life figure, that magnetic rebel. But he was so small. We held each other for as long as we could, but nowhere near as long as I wanted to. I still feel his shirt, my fingers digging into it. I didn't want that moment to end. I remember now. This was one of the last conversations I had with Cadgan 9 years ago, before he was cured of his illness. There isn't much of a story to that. One day Dad was performing his daily checkup when, well, nothing happened. We waited a few days and monitored him closely, but nothing happened. As suddenly as I imagined it manifested with no explanation, his illness disappeared. Everything is a place in this world, but there are truths that are difficult to discern, that seem to defy reason. These truths serve a higher purpose, unbound to the understanding of us mortals. I thought fate brought us together. A few days later, we returned to town with Cadgan for the first time, and that same day, we left Renai for what would be the last time for 9 years. After that talk, I wasn't sure he'd be fine alone in town, but he reassured me he'd be alright. As we shared our last hug long enough to betray a want deeper than friendship, I was convinced I'd see him again soon. Although I didn't know why fate brought us together, we'd see each other again. Our bond has meaning. And I had never been so sure about anything else in my life. How foolish I was. The illness was just some sleep disorder no one knew about then. And our bond? Time has put it to the test during these 9 years. It's strong, but nothing as romantic as I hoped. Such an idiot. What a fool that you are, Hector. Cadgan. It's been 9 years. You thought I'd still be sneaking out at night, throwing pebbles at noblemen's windows and crawling through secret passages? Please get serious. A childish part of me hoped for that, yes. But I knew it wasn't a reasonable expectation. What did you want from me then? I don't know, After Dad died, I changed. I had to in order to survive. But I thought that deep down we'd still be the same people. And I hoped that you'd still think of me in the same way and as often as I think of you. You thought wrong. I'm an adult now, Hector. Yes, but sometimes I still see it. That look you used to have. What look? What are you talking about now? Fiery, searing, as though you'd burn me if I got too close. Since I returned, whenever I was about to lose heart, to accept the old you was gone, I saw it. That alone kept my hope alive. I missed you so much, Cadgan. Every night I'd hug my pillow, wishing it was you. He shakes his head and my heart sinks once again. God, Hector, you're pathetic. Come on. Would you climb a mountain just because you spotted a little ember buried under the snow? His tail lashes behind him. I swear, he shares a canine when he spits out lit ember. Would you dive into the ocean because you caught a glimpse of a gem on the seabed? That sharpness in his voice, that brutal honesty I could always rely on. The lack of fear that taught me to stand up to my father. And his eyes, God, for the first time in 9 years, it's like he's truly looking at me. Seeing me. Foolish, ignorant man. It doesn't even cross my mind firing back. His words don't sting, don't even feel like an insult. Instead, tears cascade from my eyes, each one warmer and sadder than the last. This is the Cadgan that I love. I can't hide my sorrow. I sob and fall down like a child. Takes a step back and I sense in his tense stance. His chest locked mid-breath, the glimmering eyes from head to toe, emotions. When he crouches to check on me, he tilts his head, trying to get a better look at my face. Did I go too far? No, it's just that's the attitude I expected of you. Every time I screwed up, and all you did was let it slip or just smile, it was so disappointing. God, there's something wrong with me, isn't there? Wanting the man I love to insult me, to tear into me, Oh! Oh! That explains a lot, actually. That would explain a lot. Hector's into some kinky shit. God damn. His finger lands on my mouth, and from his comes a gentle shush. Silence, Badger. His voice comes out so soft, so tender, it reminds me of that night we sneaked out to the river. So loving he could have picked the stars, the moon, even our fates from the dark waters. Come here, let me hold you like old times. But different. Actually, do I need to cover the whole fucking screen? I'm gonna cover the whole fucking screen. I lunge and envelop him with my arms, but his back is so broad I can't even wrap around him. In the blink of an eye, we are no longer standing up, but we are instead laying down together as if that longing farewell embrace and all the nights reading together mixed into one moment. Like old times, but different. I lay my head on his chest and feel a heartbeat that cannot exist. My best friend, my first love, warm and intense as if we were still innocent, but in the body of this mountain of a man. His hands, rugged and thickly knotted, sink into my fur, and in each curling finger, in each claw grazing my skin, there's an ember. He leans in, not to kiss, but to place his nose on my neck. He takes a sniff and I do the same on his chest. His scent is like an entire world of its own. The damp, loamy soil after the rain, aged tree bark and root, remnants of the smoke from the festival. Alongside it is something familiar, but I can't quite place. That awakens a nagging feeling in the back of my mind. And underneath it all, there is also the smell of that young wolf I loved without knowing, aged now into a fully grown man. I missed you so much. I was already crying, but now I'm sobbing on his chest because I know this is all. I was a fool too, Hector. You were? Mm-hmm. Unforgivably so. Oh! See, that is adorable. However, I absolutely cannot show that. Again, it's that voice I know so well, with subtle inflections as if 1,000 different thoughts are running through his mind. Yeah, I probably can. I'm gonna do that. That is about all I can show. Unless... You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this real quick, just for you. Just for you. I'm going to show it in Discord. And yes, I'll do both. I'll do both. Oh, that is lucky. That is just pure luck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it. Like, seriously, that is just pure fucking luck. Again, it's that voice I know so well, with subtle inflections as if 1,000 different thoughts are running through his mind. He leans in closer to my ear. His breath makes me tingle. I should have known that a wimp like you would turn out like this. Unable to get enough of my bullying. At least I'm glad I was a good influence on you. I reckon you'd have no spine at all if I hadn't taught you how to lie to your daddy. I wouldn't. I'd only be Eogin's masterpiece and not a thing more. Not a person, just a doctor. Wait, is Hector a masochist? He freezes. He looks away, ponders, then looks down at me with a grin. Yes. That's what he'd have done to you, if he had the chance. But don't be so rough on your old man. Even if that's true, he was decent. Better than decent, damn it. He was twice the doctor than anyone in this town, even that inbred Manuel. That noble piece of shit could go on his trips and schools and dinners with his fancy friends, while my dad had to learn it all with what little was afforded to him back then. I dig my claws into him. A yelp comes first, but it's laughter that follows. Alright, you hold him in such high esteem, eh? But sure, I'll give you that. Eogin's the only doctor I regret playing my pranks on. Shouldn't have slipped that spider on his shoe. He deserved better. Believe it or not, I was looking forward to seeing him again. Even had an entire speech prepared. And what did you mean to tell him? I was going to thank him for bringing such a fine morsel to me. Sinking my teeth and turning you into a rascal was the highlight of those years. And I apologize too for ruining his perfect masterpiece. I sank my claws on his arm. Ouch! Damn. You really grew a spine after all. Maybe it's good that I rejected you. Had I used you as a footrest today, you wouldn't have won for long. Don't say that. The Duke couldn't get me to shut up.
Water.
What makes you think I'll quiet down
It's
now?
time to drink water.
I'll say whatever the hell I want.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
Even if every other word he's fooling around, I can't help but wish this could last forever, that this wasn't a dream. Even in my arms, you look so pathetic. By what dark magic did you make me fall in love with you as a kid? So you loved me too. You weren't lying just to console me. Of course I did. Of course I fucking did. Don't you know, after returning to Renai, how often I went to bed thinking of the day you'd come back? All the times I pictured our next meeting. Every time a carriage would pass through town, I'd come by and check if a badger or two were in it. Every damn time. After a while, I got worried and tried sending you letters, so I guess those never reached you. Is this all true, Cadgan? Of course it is. You'd think I'd lie about it. I mean, are you even real? This is a dream. His voice lowers and his breath comes almost freezing. I am real, Hector. Then tell me, just what made you change so much? His lips part, teeth showing as a thin white line, and his chest rumbling as he chuckles. How the hell would I know? Of course. It just happened, Hector. It just did. Will this be the last time I see you like this? The old foul-mouthed, mischievous man I loved? I tighten my hug around the wolf and he goes quiet. His gaze is so fixed on me I fear I displeased him, that the dream may end, or worse, that the spell is broken and he return to his cold self. But instead he answers by tightening his own grip around me. The softest whimper escapes him as his fingers caress the back of my neck. Please hold me, and don't let go. His voice comes different, deeper, on the verge of tears, and from such depths of his soul that makes even my chest rumble. I've dreamed of this for so long. God damn it, Hector, stop being Delulu. I don't fucking trust it. Oh! Okay. Okay. That is actually not as bad as I thought it'd be. So, Hector's Delulu, and it's slowly becoming True Lulu. We can, nuzzle our foreheads, sink into his chest. Fuck. You know what? Let me simplify it. You know what? Hang on, I'm gonna make a poll. I'm gonna make a poll real quick. I'm just going to let you all choose. New poll. Okay, hang on. I'm going to word it exactly how we're probably... No, because we are going to do that. We are going to do all of them. Yeah, but which one do you want to do first? This is so foul. I'm gonna pull up the full screen sensor because I don't trust it. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the full screen sensor. I don't trust it. I guess we're sticking our face into Cadgan's tits. Never mind stabby because it sounds fun. Stabby, stabby, stab, stab, stab. Oh god, oh god. 3,100 eggs! God damn, but yeah, I'll do that. Sink into his chest. Oh, wait. I can censor it. I can uncensor this, kind of, but not really. I can uncensor that much, because it's cute. When we hugged by the river, just a few days before Cadgan's illness disappeared, I was taller than him. He was one standing on the tips of his toes to fit his muzzle on my shoulder while digging his fingers into my clothes. His were the sobs muffled by my shirt. Tonight, I'm the one pressing my cheek against his chest, sinking into his white fur, trusting him to hold and put me back together, telling me it will be alright even if we know it won't. God, thank you for letting me hug and love this ghost one last time. Even if the man I love will never know about these tears I'm shedding, thank you. Here with my face pressed against him, listening to his heartbeat, Cadgan and I never walked together during the winter, after the first snowfall, but I can pretend we did. And there, treading the undisturbed snow as the sun set, we'd find a place so silent we'd hear each other's heartbeats. We'd hug like this, not feeling the slightest bit of cold, and I'd appreciate every bit of strength this man mustered over the years. I'd have too many regrets about things we could have done, but that now won't come to be. About chances I missed, here in his arms, I realized how badly I wanted to tell him. I don't have the guts to tell you, but when we were coming back from the valley, I kind of wanted to ask you to carry me instead. You're so big now, I bet you wouldn't have broken a sweat. Oh yes, I could tell. During the whole walk back, I was half expecting you to ask me to. You did? Of course. You're transparent, Hector. It's plain to see. You're always staring at my chest and arms, making no attempt to hide it. I swear your legs were shaking when I destroyed the targets at the festival. His heavy mitt of a hand presses my head and ear against his chest, and I can hear his heartbeat. With half of my face covered, my other eye can only see his white fur. It's like a fantasy come true. If things had been different, Badger, I'd have picked you up over my shoulder, maybe bridal style, and have spirited you away from Renai. Any place would be home if you'd be with me. I nuzzle up against his chest. I wish I could make this real. I'd give up anything, my career, my home, even my soul in exchange. His arms tighten around me almost playfully. I'd rather like that. For you to entrust everything to me. your past, present, future. I'll love and cherish all of you. I'll put you through pleasure so intense it'll change you. You think you've reached maturity. You think you know who you are in the world, but you will see that everything you latch onto, your noble doctors station that scientific thinking, your good manners. Oh, fuck, I dropped a knife! Ah! 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 Alright, I got it! Hang on, let me zoom in. Let me scoot on in again. One hand travels to my lower back and as though to never let me go. To make me his possession, Cadgan squeezes all of me against himself. I'm not reading that last part. Or that. All of it is insignificant. Oh! Oh! That is violent. That is a violent line. Why do I have a knife? I just like to hold it up. You know what? I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna fucking read it. All of it is insignificant, a willful distraction from your actual role as my plaything to fuck and claim and own. Oh! Nice! I'm not reading that. Or that. Or that. Or that. Yeah, he has a degradation kink. Do you know the fucked up part? Do you know the fucked up part? We can't kink shame him. We can't kink shame him. Because he's probably into that shit. Fuck! Hang on. Is a degradation masochism? Because I gotta know. Okay, here it is. Dictionary.com. A person who has masochism, the condition in which sexual or other gratification depends on one's suffering physical pain or humiliation. It is! It is! Degradation is masochism. Fuck! I'm not reading that. His voice drips with a possessiveness and weight I can't describe, as if he's whispering straight into my brain. I wonder if Cadgan can sense how fast my heart is beating. Or the heat His grip relaxes at some point, which allows me to pull back just enough to meet that shit-eating grin. Hector. He's wagging his tail. Oh! Oh! We got more. He got more options. There's more. There's now 4. There's so much more. I'm gonna cry. They only get kinkier? God damn. Yeah, damn. Yeah. What's the other one? Smelling his armpit. Yeah, what the Sigma? What the Sigma? Because we're split. Or what the Skibbity? Hang on. Let's face it, this is another cat's decision. I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back. And I'm back. I hate this. I hate this so much. Machine grinding. Oh, whoa, okay. I definitely can't read that. I cannot read that. But Damien over here, using 6,300 eggs, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the screenshots. And yeah. Yeah, I'm going to capture the screenshots. And then, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because this is a little disturbing. It's kind of stalkerish. Yeah, it's kind of stalkerish. Yeah. I'm just gonna do all of them, and I'm gonna capture them. So, I'm not, you know what, I'll also capture that one. Because I'm speeding through this as fast as I can. And the only word, I was speeding through the fucking armpit thing. I was speeding through it, and I saw the word exquisite. That is the only word that popped out to me. And okay, what are we gonna call him? We can call him Cadgan, my hero, my lord, or daddy. And I am, if I'm uncomfortable, no, I'm not uncomfortable, believe it or not. I'm not uncomfortable. I've actually read a lot worse. I've read a lot worse. Like a couple days ago. I guess we're calling him Daddy. And he's calling us his hellspawn. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, I feel like this is foreshadowing something. Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like this is foreshadowing. Yeah, we're gonna see that one, and oh, god damn it. Okay, now I'm actually uncomfortable. Now I'm actually uncomfortable. I'm actually uncomfortable now. Hang on, let me check something. Because I'm capturing these to share them in the Discord. Because I definitely cannot share them here. Yeah, I'm going to. However, I'm capturing them, and I want to make sure that I'm actually getting them. And yep, I'm getting them. Okay. Hang on. Though my joints are rigid and my heart is hammering in my chest, I work up the courage to look into Cadgan's eyes one more time. They are so deep and mesmerizing. His breath is hot as it hits my nose. He's really become such a handsome man. I'm lucky to be in his embrace, am I not? Who cares about what is or isn't real? When I go to sleep tomorrow, will this Cadgan still be waiting for me? Will he hold me and insult me again? Regardless, I'll treat this as the last time I'll ever talk to him. I'm done doubting myself, missing chances, and piling up regrets. Right now, everything is where it should be. So let me partake in it, experience what it could have been down to the every last detail. I'm not reading that. Okay, I think I'm safe. Which is why I'm baffled when he stops me by placing a finger on my nose. What's the matter? It's too soon for that, Hector. Why? I don't want this opportunity to slip by. Please! It won't. Not if you haven't given up. I follow the wolf's gaze toward the void above us. It's as though there was something invisible yet perceptible there. Don't you feel it drawing closer, Hector? Encroaching and surrounding you? Thousands of flowers burst open, dozens of springs all at once. He was born among screams here in Renai, where the earth has mouths to swallow and the sky's eyes. As though breaking out from under a lake's surface, I gasp for air. I sit up, frantically looking around. Murky moonlight enters through the open window, illuminating the desk. This is my room, then I'm awake. The now dry streaks on my cheeks say yes, but that dream was so vivid, it's difficult to tell. There's a bit more NSFW. Cadgan? No matter how long I stare into the darkness in front of me, the wolf doesn't show up again. Just as quickly as it came, the tension drains from my body and I flop back onto bed. I wish it had lasted longer, that I had never woken up from that dream. What do I need to do to be in Cadgan's arms again? Would it suffice to just close my eyes and wish for it? How convenient that would be. Close my eyes with a sigh and hug my pillow. It's right then, when my heartbeat has calmed down and my thoughts have been silenced, and I notice a scent that's been there since I woke up. I'm going to pull up the sensor. The same one I sensed in my dream. The scent of the Eye Valley. And right after that comes a realization that what I'm hugging is too bulky to be my pillow. In the same place where Cadgan's face would have been moments ago are two rubies instead. Is this what that lion saw during the first attempt at the expedition? It must have been yes, because the rubies are blinking. Before I can muster any further thought, then they pounce at me. I scream and roll off the bed, making a break for my desk. Get the pestle! No, the lamp! Now armed, I head straight for the door, only to run into a wall. It should be right here, so I try to feel my way to the door frame, but no matter how long I search, I can't find it. Hearing it with shaky hands, I take hold of the bottom of the lamp and release magic. It comes out as a spark, but that's enough for the oil to lit up violently, flames licking the top of the chamber. Huh? It's not here. The door's gone! Something shifts behind me. I hold my breath and turn around. It escapes my lung first as an exhale and then as a snicker. The smell from the valley, the rubies, the disappearing door. I'm still dreaming, aren't I? Yeah, it's early, but we're going to leave off here tonight. I'm going to name him Ryan. Wait, no. Yeah. Yeah, no, the timing could not have been better, and I am deeply disturbed and... Oh no, he was wearing pants. But no, I am disturbed and slightly uncomfortable by it, so we're gonna leave off. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.